What's up, y'all? Welcome back to MSM Audio. I'm Tim. Thank y'all for tuning in. Real quick, recently I did the review of the MPC expansion Heatmakerz, and somebody left a comment under the video that I wanted to address, right? This is by Beats by Willow. He says, all these one shots, I have owned those sounds since 2004. They just keep repackaging these sounds with different big names and reselling them. All they do is throw in some loops that everyone has that no one is going to use. No one needs the same rim shot, snare, and kick 7,000 times dry or with different amounts of wet reverb. Now, I can't disagree with them, right? But this particular expansion, the Heatmakerz expansion, I think is a perfect example of it's how you use the sounds, right? How you're going to separate yourself from the pack. Because, and I say this throughout the review, like how refreshing it is. And I reviewed many expansions, and a lot of them are trap related, and they kind of sound the same. They're in the same vein, the same feel, same vibe. And that's not a knock because I love trap. Just making a point, right? But the Heatmakerz, especially with their use of sampling, how they make their drums, if their tracks come on, okay, that's a Heatmakerz track. And I say even during the review, I can hear Cam, I can hear the Diplomats destroying some of these tracks because that's the Heatmakerz sound, and they pair well, as we all know historically, with the Diplomats, right? If you take 5 super producers and you play their signature tracks one after the other, you'll be able to tell as soon as it comes on, oh, that's Heatmakerz, that's Dre, that's Swiss, that's Ye, that's Pharrell, right? Whereas with some of the more trap stuff, it's kind of hard to differentiate when you hear these different tracks, right? Because it's not so unique. So, yes, I do agree with him. I do agree with the comment, but I just found it ironic that it came under this particular expansion where I found it refreshing because, yeah, you might have heard a lot of those one shots, but the samples they choose, how they use them, the drums they choose, how they use them, right? It's a uniquely curated sound, and that's really the goal, right? How can you curate your own sound so that when it comes on, you immediately know, oh, this is not what everybody else is doing. This is a particular sound. You could try to do it, but it's not going to be the same because it's specific to you, it's unique to you, and that's really the goal, right? So, yeah, we got to deal with the oversaturation and the thousands of sounds that sound the same with a couple different tweaks, but how are you using the sounds? How are you going to curate your own sound, your own vibe, your own feel, right? That's how you separate yourself from the pack. That's what we all got to do to break away and set a new standard, right? Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay positive, stay purposeful, stay creative, stay confident. Most of all, keep going. See you on the next one. MSM Audio.